Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are here at Digital Assets Forum number 3 here in London. I'm Alona Stein, co-CEO at ReBlonde PR agency. And joining me now is Scott Ellam, CEO and founder of XCE. Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Yourself?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for joining us here today. Do you want to tell us a bit about XCE and what you do?
Yeah, so XCE, Connecting Excellence Group. We recently launched on the Aquis Exchange in December. The business is an international executive recruitment company working across traditional high growth industries. So we work with the Big Four, we work with Magic Circle law firms, we work with large consultancy firms, construction firms, and AI intelligence businesses, to give you some examples of the industries we focus on. And we're placing vice presidents, directors, managing directors. 70% of our revenue comes from overseas. And we've had a Bitcoin balance sheet since 2021 as a private business. We're now using the public status and the Bitcoin treasury strategy to allow us to access capital markets, raise Bitcoin per share for investors, but also from the operating businesses side, we're now able to leverage long-dated performance-based share options to attract the best talent in our industry to join the business and drive more revenue, more cash flow, allowing us to buy more Bitcoin organically, if you like. So that's a summary of the business model.
Very interesting. So you basically took two worlds that are completely, not related to one another, and very intelligently combined them together, making some kind of like a revenue in for everyone.
Yeah.
Which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's like I suppose a flywheel effect of the more the operating business compounds growth year on year. And we've had 35% plus compound annual growth rate since 2021. 2021 was when we started the Bitcoin treasury strategy. Now, if you remember, 2021 Bitcoin was at a peak and then it had a drawdown. Now our revenues were going up, the Bitcoin price was going down. So we're completely uncorrelated to the Bitcoin price, and that allows us to actually acquire more Bitcoin in that kind of environment. And we are long on Bitcoin. We are buying and holding it for the long term. So it is different. And going forward from this point forward, that big differentiator of PLC status and Bitcoin treasury has meant that we're now getting approached by high performing consultants who may come in and add $500,000 revenue each. Is kind of a strong benchmark in our industry, as in, hey, here's my basic salary. People tend to be on modest basic salaries in our industry and high commission. So they come in, similar basic salary with us, similar commission scheme with us, but there's the option that nobody else can put to them, which is, okay, your performance-based share options and the profit used from the revenue you generate to buy Bitcoin, those share options should grow in value based on the operational growth, but also that supports our capital markets strategy, and we become more attractive to the capital markets, which allows us to increase more Bitcoin per share that side. And you're also, as an employee, then benefiting from the compound annual growth rate that we expect to see in Bitcoin over the next 10 years. So they're effectively getting very long dated options that will give them the ability to plan their lives outside of work, at retirement, and effectively just strengthen the business. And I hope to positively disrupt the executive recruitment industry by attracting the best talent to this company and continuing to do that.
Sounds like you already do. And I also have to give you the credit of thinking of a Bitcoin strategy back in 2021. I don't think it was as popular, back then as it is now.
No, it was a pretty easy decision for me. I've been a Bitcoiner myself personally since maybe 2016, understanding it 2017, going through that journey of the highs and lows in Bitcoin right up until we get to 2020. And we kind of saw the world proactively say, we're going to print money, increase the money supply quite significantly to allow people to stay at home and not produce. And I think that was a moment as a business leader where I've been building a cash reserve. In my personal life, been building Bitcoin's my focus. But as a business, you're watching the cash reserve depleting purchasing power year on year.
Yeah.
So it was a very quick decision from me. I have to admit, it was after Michael Saylor did it. So it was 2021. I saw Michael Saylor do it and thought, okay, I've got trapped capital in ISAs and SIPs.
Yeah.
I'm allocated to MicroStrategy where I've got trapped capital. And from a private business owner point of view, it was, well, cash reserves, let's put them into Bitcoin. And then we bought throughout that entire period, which I think gave the likes of the board. We've got Richard Byworth as a board advisor. We have Sam Roberts, who's chairman of the company and also works with Cartwright Pension Trust. did the first British pension fund allocation to Bitcoin. VJ Selvin, ex-head of governance at Goldman Sachs. It gave those people I was approaching as a headhunting firm to say, do you want to join us on this mission? The confidence that I'm long and high belief in Bitcoin, and regardless of what the price is at that moment in time, Bitcoin will always be worth more in the future than it's ever been worth in the past. So I've been there and bought throughout that period, price agnostically and daily, and will continue to do so.
Very nice. So I understand, the revenue share. I understand the Bitcoin strategy. Why do you need a bond?
So we launched the XCE Bitcoin bond earlier this month. It's fully subscribed and settled. We did that at 10 Bitcoin. And when I entered this process, we've had key strategic investors who are significant holders of Bitcoin. And what I was very clear to the investors about, and what I was very clear to the board about, is this Bitcoin treasury needs to start in line with the scale of the operating business and both accelerate each other's growth. What we didn't want to do was start with a significant sum of Bitcoin that meant that we were asking retail investors who would be looking at it in their ISAs and their SIPs, much as I do with these types of businesses, and thinking they're asking us to meet them at the destination. We want to go on the journey with them. So we've launched the first bond at 10 Bitcoin, which fits our market cap now. And then we will, on that 2026 Bitcoin bond program, scale up those bonds as we go. The benefit of those bonds, benefit to shareholders, is that we're selling those bonds at a 30% premium to share price. Benefit to bondholders is this is the first time there has been a Bitcoin denominated bond that is truly Bitcoin denominated. So if you can imagine, if the Bitcoin price is here and the share price is here, the conversion price 30% above. If Bitcoin goes up in price, the conversion price rises. Bitcoin goes down in price, the conversion price falls. And our shares have to outperform Bitcoin by 20% in either direction for us to be able to convert those bonds early, put the Bitcoin on the balance sheet. And shareholders have a forward-looking ability to say, okay, that's what the Bitcoin per share and the yield will be if they convert. And bond buyers know that if we get to the end of the 12 months, in the bearish case scenario that the bonds haven't converted, that the risk for them is minimized to there's a 2% cost for the administrative side of the bonds. So their downside is significantly limited if they're the type of investor who are denominating in Bitcoin and looking for Bitcoin denominated returns.
Very cool. Very interesting take. So, where do you see this is going in the next year? If we would have met here a year from now, how would you have summarized 2026 for me from your perspective?
Yeah, I think really long term. So I'm not going to stick any predictions on less than 4 years. But what we want to do is continue educating the market. And we've also added a Bitcoin executive recruitment division on there as well. And we've been retained by Bitcoin investment funds. We're speaking to great clients in that side. So I want to see organic operating growth in the high growth sectors that we already work in.
Yeah.
I would like to see the Bitcoin executive recruitment growth grow, because I just believe that Bitcoin on balance sheets, whether private or public companies, is something that helps businesses survive in the long term, small ones and large ones. So I'd like to see operational growth from that side. I'd like to see us be able to continue executing effectively on the capital market side of a business. And without putting a time scale on it, we would like to see 1,000 Bitcoin on the balance sheet. We would like to see industry-leading operating revenue growth. And I would like to see our competitors asking us more questions about the strategy and asking to join the group. Those conversations are starting now, but they will be gone into more detail at the appropriate time when we're at the appropriate scale.
Perfect. Definitely something worth watching. So we'll keep a close eye. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you.